Ever feel that, like, oh, that spark, like you're truly alive?
Yeah.
Well, traditional Chinese medicine says that's your qi. It's that vital energy just flowing through, every single one of us.
Right.
And today, we're taking a deep dive into this really old text that breaks down qi, like, in incredible detail.
Okay.
It's called the Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine.
It's
like the ultimate guide to understanding this energy, the energy that makes us tick.
And it's not like just this like vague energy either.
No.
This text really gets specific. Like it maps out Qi's pathways and how it cycles in your body.
Wow.
It's a whole system really. Like it's been shaping health practices for centuries.
That's right. And today we're like focusing on one concept from chapter 15. It's called the 50 circulations of Qi.
Okay.
Get this. The ancients actually believed that our qi makes 50 complete cycles through our bodies every single day.
Wow.
It's a continuous flow connecting, like our breath, our bodies, and even the cosmos.
The cosmos.
Yeah.
Really, they were onto something with this whole interconnectedness thing.
Yeah.
They saw how qi flows in us and how it mirrors the cycles up in the sky. Like, we've got these tiny reflections of the universe's movements happening right inside us.
Okay, 50 cycles in a day. That just sounds, like a lot.
Yeah.
How'd they even figure that out, back then?
Right.
Like, did they have, tiny little key detectors or something?
Well, no, not quite detectors.
Oh, sorry.
But they were such close observers. The text says that with each breath, our qi moves a certain distance. They called it kun. That's roughly an inch.
Okay.
And so with each inhale and exhale, that energy is moving like 6 inches through your body.
Wait, hold on. Every single breath moves at 6 inches.
It does.
That's got to add up fast.
Oh, yeah, it does. They calculated that over a full 24 hours, our qi travels like 810 zang.
Zang.
Yeah, zang is another one of their old measurements. But like to give you a picture, it's like your qi is running a marathon every day.
A qi marathon.
Yeah.
Wow. I never thought about my breath having that much power.
Right.
But how's this marathon connect to the cosmos?
Yeah.
They didn't just randomly pick the number 50, right?
Oh, no, not at all. They saw a direct link between those 50 circulations and the 28 constellations.
Okay.
So just as the heavens move through all 28 in a day, our qi completes its 50 cycles inside us.
So they basically mapped our energy onto the stars.
That's right.
That's, I need a minute to process that.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And the connections don't stop there, do they?
They don't.
There's more.
You're right. They found even more. Like, they measured the meridians.
Okay.
Those are like the energy pathways in our body.
Right.
And guess what? Their total length also lines up with those 28 constellations.
No way.
It's like our bodies are like little mini universes.
It is kind of mind-blowing, but it makes you wonder if the ancients were really onto something, with this whole holistic view of health and everything being interconnected like that.
It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. So it's not just qi moving, but what does this movement actually do?
Right. Well, the text actually uses this term, jiaotong.
Jiaotong.
Yeah. It really highlights how qi flows, seamlessly, simultaneously throughout the entire body. It's like this perfectly synced network, all thanks to this energy just constantly flowing. That was the harmony they were after.
Okay, so it's not just the number of cycles, it's the quality of this jiaotong.
Right.
This communication that's happening inside us.
Exactly.
But did they think this constant flow actually impacted our health?
Oh, they did, definitely. The Yellow Emperor's Classic actually states that finishing those 50 cycles, it's crucial for achieving the natural longevity ordained by heaven and earth.
Wow.
So basically they believed how long we live and how healthy we are is directly tied to how smoothly our qi flows.
So basically, as long as our qi's running its marathon every day, we're good to go.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's incredible. But wait, how did they track all this? Without all the gadgets and stuff we have today, they didn't have stopwatches and Fitbits back then.
No, they didn't, but that's where it gets even more interesting.
Okay.
They used water clocks called wǔshí.
Wǔshí.
Yeah, to measure time and connect it to qi movement. They saw that in 270 breaths, that's about the time it takes for a water clock to go through 2 intervals, the qi completes 1 full cycle through the meridians. Pretty impressive, right?
Talk about paying attention to detail.
I know.
They connected breath, time, and this invisible energy, all those centuries ago.
It really is amazing.
It really makes you think, have we, in our modern world, have we lost touch with something important?
Makes you wonder, huh? They were so in tune with this, this subtle energy and how it affects well-being.
Totally.
It really makes you think, have we lost that in our modern world?
I mean, we're all about like, go, go, go.
Right.
Always plugged in, rushing around. Maybe we just forgot how to listen to our bodies. Those little cues they're sending.
Maybe. But here's the thing. Even if, we don't fully get qi, like from a scientific point of view, there are things people do today that kind of fit with these ancient ideas.
You mean like acupuncture, qigong?
Exactly.
Always been curious about those.
Yeah, it's all about like working with that flow of qi, balancing it out in your body.
Right.
And it's not just like traditional Eastern stuff either. Think about mindfulness.
Oh, yeah.
Or breath work. It's getting pretty popular.
That's true. I've tried some breath work, just dabbling.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I felt different afterward.
Like how?
Like more energy, like something was unblocked. Could that be like me tapping into my qi without even realizing it?
Totally possible. Remember how that text was all about breath and qi moving together?
Right.
It's not crazy to think that if you're breathing consciously, it's gonna affect your energy flow, even if you don't call it qi.
So, even though, like, science hasn't totally caught up to explaining qi yet, could be these ancient principles still have something to teach us, for how we live today.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that we still don't know everything about our bodies.
Yeah.
And that wisdom can come from a lot of places, even old texts.
It's like these texts are a totally different map to, like, understanding ourselves. Makes you think, what if they were right? What if this key is the key to, like, unlocking better health, more energy?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
And while, scientists are working on it, trying to figure it out, there's something to be said for, like, being open to the idea that maybe there's stuff about our health that goes beyond what we know right now.
Right, like being open to different perspectives.
Yeah.
Taking the old wisdom and, combining it with what we know today.
Exactly. But it also makes you wonder, if the ancients were so connected to this energy flow, what about our modern lives? Has that messed it up?
You mean like always being online? Technology everywhere.
Yeah, all that stimulation. Does it mess with our natural rhythms?
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of why we have the health problems we do today.
Something to think about.
It is. Maybe by going back to those old principles, like doing breath work, being mindful.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how we get back in balance.
Like coming full circle. Using old wisdom to deal with our crazy modern world.
Exactly.
So cool. But, is there anything in science today that, like, supports these ideas about qi? Or maybe even challenges them?
Well, it's a bit of both, really. There's definitely more interest in things like bioenergetics.
Bioenergetics.
Yeah, it's about studying subtle energy fields, inside the body. Huh? But, like, mainstream science, it hasn't totally accepted qi like how traditional Chinese medicine describes it.
So it's still kind of a mystery, scientifically speaking.
Pretty much.
But even if we can't totally explain it, these principles from the text seem to resonate with people, like their experiences.
Absolutely. And I think that's what's great about, digging into these old traditions. It's like they give you a different way of seeing yourself and how you fit in with the world. Even if you don't take everything literally, they can, spark your curiosity.
Totally.
Inspire you to be more mindful.
Speaking of being more mindful, are there specific things our listeners could try, to explore this whole qi thing?
Well, we talked about Qigong and Tai Chi.
Right.
Those are specifically designed to work with qi, balance it out, but you don't have to jump into those right away.
Well,
even simple stuff like paying attention to your breath, doing some gentle stretches, being out in nature. That can help you become more aware of those little energy flows inside you.
So it's about, like, slowing down. Really tuning in, connecting with ourselves, on a deeper level.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe as we get more aware, we'll start to see ourselves and everything around us in a whole new way.
It's like we've got this ancient map.
Right.
To our own energy, and we get to explore it.
I love that.
Me too. Okay, so as we're wrapping up our deep dive into these 50 circulations, what are, like, the big takeaways? What do you hope people listening will remember?
I think the biggest thing is, like, how the ancients just had this sense of awe about how we're connected to the whole cosmos.
Right.
They didn't see us as separate from nature, but as, like, reflections of these grand cycles of the universe.
It's humbling, but it's also kind of empowering, isn't it?
It is.
Like, we're this tiny piece of something massive.
Yeah.
but we have this power to actually, like, affect our own energy.
Exactly. And that brings us to the second takeaway. It's all about the breath.
The breath, okay.
Remember how the text was all about how each breath moves that qi?
Right.
It's saying we can work with that energy, with being mindful of our breathing or doing qigong.
So even something as basic as our breath can be a powerful tool.
Absolutely. And lastly, I hope people will just be open-minded about, health and well-being. Just because science hasn't totally figured out qi yet,
Right.
doesn't mean these old principles are useless.
It's about finding that balance, right, between old wisdom and what we know now.
Exactly. And hey, maybe as we keep learning, we'll find even more connections.
Like what kind?
Between our energy, the natural world, the whole universe. Who knows?
So one final thought for our listeners. If the ancients believed so strongly in this qi and how it's connected to everything else, what can we learn from them today? Are there breathing exercises, maybe mindfulness practices from, traditional Chinese medicine that we can try to, like, boost our own energy, maybe even tap into that connection with the cosmos? Something to think about, right? As we keep exploring ourselves and, how to live well. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.